starting right now. Hello to everyone out there today. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the Barbara Williams and Kathy Jones Hangout while we talk about the psychology of prospecting. And I find that very fascinating. Psychology of prospecting really doesn't mean very much different than the mindset of prospecting. They're both real similar. And I was reading an article by Mike Dillard about the psychology of prospecting. And basically what he's saying is, and I agree because I've done the same thing. I've led training calls on prospecting, and I've written prospecting scripts, and it's never ceased to amaze me. I can give the same script, which is a good script, to people on my team, and they won't get the same results I get. And what I've discovered is basically if you don't have the same mindset, the same leadership, the same authority, the same confidence, the same position as another successful person, you're not going to get the same results. Successful prospecting, whether you want to call sponsoring, prospecting, recruiting, it all means the same thing. But if you want to be successful in the law of attraction, all of it goes hand in hand. You have to really, first and foremost, develop that mindset. And like I said on a previous hangout, I've just written a book that when how-tos are not enough, transform magically and by surprise. It's over on eBay. I'm not eBay, Amazon, under the ebook section. But it's really true. If people don't take the time to work on who they are, their confidence, their self-esteem, their psychology, the way that they're going to approach the marketplace and life, then they're just not going to meet with the same success as someone that has spent that time. And it doesn't mean you don't spend time on the how-tos. That doesn't mean that. But of the two, the mindset and the foundation for that mindset and learning the skill set behind the mindset is so much more important. And Kathy, I would love a comment from you on that.
Well, that is so true, Barbara, because we've heard this phrase, people don't buy the product that you're trying to sell or sharing with them or whatever, they buy you. And so if you have that enthusiasm, you have that mindset, you have that belief in yourself and what you are doing, that people are going to buy you and they're going to want to know what you have to offer. Because they're like Barbara, you said to me earlier, she says, oh, some of the times when I'm on these hangouts, my voice gets really high pitched and it's because I'm excited. Is that a bad thing? I'm like, no, Barbara, that's a good thing because you are excited and enthusiastic and I want to hear what else you have to say. So I really think that recruiting and the psychology of recruiting is all around mindset. And it's also about you getting to know the person that you're talking to, letting them tell you what they're looking for. Don't you think that is true also, Barbara?
Absolutely. And all that ties right back to mindset too. It's like in mindset, if you realize that what you have to say is not as important as what you can listen to. And I would never, never, never suggest that you give a false compliment. But if you attune yourself or tune in to the spirit of the other person, and let's say you're on the telephone, the spirit of the other person on the phone with you, and you can discover a compliment there. And all people love to receive compliments. All people love to be liked. And people, and I mean, people like people who like them. I mean, Kathy, look at the relationship you and I have. I mean, you can feel me liking you, and I know you like me. And why would we associate with someone that we were getting, bad vibes from? We didn't get that really positive energy. Wouldn't you agree, Kathy?
Oh, totally. And that's what I love about the business that we're in. Network marketing, attraction marketing, internet marketing, affiliate marketing. We are being able to choose who we want to work with.
Absolutely.
And how many times can you choose your boss or choose your coworkers in traditional business? And that's what I love, love, love about this business is, I've sometimes made bad choices of who I worked with, but I've made a really good one here with Barbara Williams. I love working with her, and so it's fun when you can choose who you want to work with, and that, like you said, goes back to that mindset when you're talking to someone, that you've got the correct mindset yourself and you pull out those things from the person. It's almost like doing an interview, but not really, don't you think? Like a job interview?
Oh, yeah, were you talking about when you're prospecting? It's sort of like an interview.
Totally.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, I absolutely agree. In fact, what's really interesting is I'm also a breeder. I'm a breeder of miniature schnauzers. And of course, in the beginning, I wasn't that good in my skill set of uh, having people purchase dogs from me. But then I remember what Jeffrey Combs said. People will pay what you're willing to ask. People will pay what you're willing to ask. And he always said that a high ticket item is just as easy to get the sale, if not easier, on a high ticket item than a low ticket item. And he also would say that being able to ask the high end price had a lot to do with your self confidence. And self confidence, again, is mindset. So it's real funny, Kathy. I started off, and I probably shouldn't go public with this, but I started off, and of course, I improved my skill set. I improved the benefits that I received, and I improved the bloodline of the dog. But more importantly, I improved me and my self confidence. So I started off selling the dogs at $750, and now I sell them at $1,800. Well, the $1,800 clientele is very different and much easier to interact with. I appreciate them more because they really care about the dog or the puppy they're investing in. And I think I segued over to this or transgressed over to this just to say that having the right mindset is going to work in every aspect of your life, whether it be meeting the right husband, whether it be you're doing affiliate marketing or network marketing or a home business of some other kind, more traditional. You've got to, in order to be successful in life, you got to understand the psychology of success. I'll say the psychology of prospecting is very important, but a part of the psychology of prospecting is really the psychology of persuasion and understanding that. And like Cassie said, a lot of it is listening to the other person instead of selling and telling. Selling and telling is just such a turnoff. And fact giving. I mean, who cares if somebody's a trillionaire? That's not going to make me a trillionaire. I'm not going to join a company because the owner's a trillionaire. That's just doesn't make sense to me. There's many other components that I'm going to look at, but in this interviewing process, you really want to be a good listener, and a part of that again is knowing the art of oh my goodness, I can't even think of that. Oh God, but good listening. I forget the proper word for it. Active listening. I guess that's what it's called. Active listening, where when you're interviewing the person and they say something, you say it back in different words, which indicates that you've been listening and you're getting agreement that you really did understand what they're saying. And everyone likes it when you show them time and attention. And in the interview process that is not formal, it's very casual, you're showing an interest in that human being. And one of my favorite questions, it would be, of course, after the "Hi, Kathy, how you doing? This is Barbara Williams. You don't know me personally. Is, are you still interested in a business from home?" And they say yes. My next question is, great. Tell me a little bit about you. Tell me, who you are. Tell me what makes you tick. And people love. I mean, who do you think their favorite subject is? Every human being's favorite subject is their self. And so anyway, Kathy, would you like to comment on kind of some of the things that I just mentioned?
I like that part about active listening. I've not heard it called that before. I like that simple way that you described that, because we know it is about listening to the other person. But I like that word active in there, Barbara, because when you are listening, you need to either make notes in your head if you're there in front of the person, because you're not going to be scribbling notes, or notes on paper if you're on the phone. So you get those little bullet points, those little catchphrases that the person is saying that tells you who they are, what they're about, what they're looking for, and it might be that direct question, like you said, are you still looking to interested in working from home? But that might mean different things to different people. And in that active listening phase of your relationship building call or meeting with the person, you're going to find out exactly what they're looking for at this time in their life.
Absolutely. Now, I can give you some tips on some of the right questions to ask. But again, if you don't have that confidence and mindset behind it, it's not going to go over the same way. Because, like I said, I've written scripts for years, and good scripts. And I'm always amazed at the difference in in end results, I guess I would say. And I'll never forget one time, Kathy, I was doing a three-way call with someone. So, like you were my business partner, and you had a prospect on the line, and you three-wayed over to me. So I get on the phone, and I did everything to close the person, right? And the person said yes to me, okay? And I said, okay, well, go back to Kathy, and Kathy will fill in and get you started. She says, okay, great. So the call goes back to Kathy. This is not really Kathy, but the call goes back to the other person. And the other person says, so you still want to join? Just that one. Oh, that was the stupidest thing she could have said. That was that one little remark made the woman say no. You understand that, Kathy, right?
Oh, very much so. It put the pressure on the woman. This wasn't that. That's how I would have taken it. All of a sudden now, oh, there's this new person trying to close me, and no one wants to be closed.
Well, I think more importantly, she showed doubt. In other words,
Yes.
the woman had already said yes. Why would you ask her again to say yes? You're showing doubt in what it is you have to offer, and you're showing doubt in yourself. And why would someone want to partner with a leader that doesn't even have self-confidence?
That is so true.
Right.
That is so true. So
So
it once again, Barbara, we're going back to that word mindset.
absolutely. And so I always like to ask, like I said, one of the questions that I absolutely love to ask is, what are you currently doing for a living? And then I'll ask, what is it you like best about what you're doing right now? That helps you really get to know them. Again, you're showing interest in them, which always puts you, higher up. And then after that, you give them the time to do that. Another good thing is to do is, oh, that's interesting. Tell me more. Tell me more. And that is giving them permission to continue to talk. Also creating a situation that you're interested in them and you're really listening. And it also gives you the opportunity to get to know them better so that you know what to say next. You've got to figure out what they want, because at the end of the day, yes, you're selling yourself, but you're also selling what it is they want. I mean, if Cassie indicates she doesn't want a $50,000 a month check, why would I be talking about a $50,000 a month check? If what she wants is 2,000, I need to meet her where she's at. 50,000 then would be daunting and intimidating, where she's at is at 2,000, and if I'm talking to her about where she's at, that's going to go over much better than having not listened and talking about something completely different that she can't relate to. So then the next question that I do is, what do you dislike the most about what you're currently doing?
Barbara, when I used to own a business, a traditional type business, I used to have to interview a lot of people for jobs. And I kind of carried some of that over into the interview process for people that I want to work with. And I did something very similar. I would ask the person what their three strongest traits were.
That's
a And it always was interesting. And one reason I did that, Barbara, because it helped me know how I would work with that person down the road. But then I also asked them what their three biggest challenge traits are. What is the most challenging for them? And it was interesting. People could always come up with those first two. The third one was always difficult. And I always use the example, like if someone said one of their challenges was marketing internet, doing anything on the internet, am I going to go back and force that person to be an internet marketer when they're great one-on-one with people?
Absolutely.
So it's we have to meet people where they're at, and then complement them with and help them with the parts that they have challenges with.
Absolutely. And one of the other things I really like, and I really like doing phone work, right? Because I can take the notes and I can get much more in tune with the individual, believe it or not, over the phone than I can in person. So we all have our strong points. If someone comes out of the gate and tells me they don't want to present this to their friends and family, I better have a way that they can build the business other than talking to friends and family. So eventually, after we do the question asking, we get to the point of asking permission to tell them a little bit about the company. Now, one of the things somewhere in the process of this interviewing process is I always love to say, this may or may not be for you, but either way, that's okay. One of the other things I like to say somewhere along in the process is, Cassie, there's really only two types of people. One is the person that's totally unmotivated, sits in front of the TV, eating a bag of potato chips with their feet up on the coffee table, complaining about the taxes, watching the news, complaining about their friends, gossiping, and just overall complaining about what they earn, about what they have, about what they don't have, just complaining, while they do absolutely nothing to change their situation. Then the second kind of people are those that are highly motivated, always seeking a way to improve themselves, their financial situation, incredible go-getters, very positive, and at the end of the day, very, very successful. So anyway, I'm going to go on and tell you a little bit about the company. And again, it may or may not be for you. And either way, that's okay. And then I go into what ideas that I know I'm going to say. Now, here's the key. Nobody wants to buy features. People don't want to buy features. They want to buy benefits. And everybody wants to know what's in it for me. What's WIFM, what's in it for me? And that's human nature. What's in it for me? So we've got to make sure that when we're presenting the benefits, that we're again presenting what they want, not what we think is important, what they think is important. And that's the whole point of the entire dance that you do with bringing someone into the business, is you get them to know you, like you, and trust you. And they get that partially from the compliments you give, the active listening that you do, and then ultimately the benefits that you present that relates to where they're at. If they have children and they're a single mom and they've indicated they don't want to work outside the home, well, I'm going to say, this is a great way for you to be able to stay at home with the kids, work in between the cracks in a flexible sort of way, and make the income that you deserve to make. So, it's again, all that can be said by anybody, but you got to say it with the right mindset, the right authority, and the right leadership. Over you, Kathy.
Well, that makes so much sense because, you said people like to talk about themselves. People want to know what's in it for them. So it's all about going back to the person that you're talking to, that relationship, them believing in you and you believing in them and giving them what they're looking for.
Right. So then the next question is asking them somewhere in this process. I'm not necessarily going in the exact order, but the next question that you ask is, what is it that you want from a business from home? And let them tell you. And then the other question is how much would you like to see yourself making from this business at home? If they say some outrageous amount, I usually say, is that what you're making on your current job? And we talk about that a little bit to get their both feet planted on the ground and being a little more realistic. And then I ask them, how many hours a week are you willing to invest to make that kind of money? And what are some of your dreams? What do you want to see yourself spending this money on? So then when I get over to the closing, so to speak, nobody really wants to be closed. I do a very gentle close. Is, you feed them back what it is you listen to. And so, were you sincere about having, and then I list off everything they said, and they'll say yes. And I said, great. So are you ready to get started today? Very direct question, but you deserve to have an answer. You spend a lot of time with them, and it's very simple. It's either yes or no. Either way, that's okay. And then, if they say no, you say great, and you let them go. I don't try to meet with their objections and arm twist somebody into the business. I don't do that. I believe more in the law of attraction and working with the people that want to partner with me. So back over to you, Kathy.
I think we've covered a lot of great information today, Barbara. And so, do you want to share with people again how they can find your book? And they can find me at whoiskathyjones.com. Once again, whoiskathyjones.com. And Barbara, if you want to share with people how they can find you.
Absolutely. And before I get to how you can find me, I just want to close with everybody listening to this hangout again. I want to really thank you for investing your time in listening to what it is that Kathy and myself have to say. It's Kathy Jones and Barbara Williams. I want to thank you for investing your time to listen. There's a lot of things you could be doing, and I really applaud you for wanting to develop yourself and learn the industry. Kathy and I both do affiliate marketing and network marketing, and I do affiliate marketing, network marketing, and a little traditional home business with the beautiful little miniature schnauzers. And we've been successful. I don't know I haven't worked in corporate America since 1989. So anyway, with that being said, you can find me at barbarawilliams.net, and Barbara is spelled Barbara, Williams.net. And, over there, you'll be able to see some of the other things I'm doing and involved with if you're interested. And I would just again want to really thank you for being here today. And if you want to find my book, again, Amazon.com, put in the Barbara Williams. It'll pop right up in the search bar, the Barbara Williams. It'll pop right up, a little blue cover. It's only 99 cents. And again, it's talking about mindset. And I think we can all, not think, I know we can all benefit from improving our mindset. It is a journey, not a destination. It's not an ending point. It is a journey, and it goes until the afterworld. And so you can always reinforce what it is you already know. And there's always something more, that little tidbit that you get that assists you in improving where you're at. And even in listening to this Google Hangout today, I might be saying everything you already know, but it might be that one little nugget, one little thing that makes the entire Google Hangout worth being on. So again, barbarawilliams.net, Kathy Jones, who is kathyjones.com, correct, Kathy?
That is correct. And I want to thank all the listeners today. We've had fun, and we call these a little bit of awesome, right, Barbara?
Absolutely. So look for us, a little bit of awesome, and we will be back with some more Google Hangouts. Thanks again, and bye for now.
Bye.